Good afternoon once again to my grade 9 mathematics students. Hello. I know every one of you, all of you already know what is quadratic equation. Okay? So now we will proceed to another topic, which is the extracting the square roots. There are many ways how to solve quadratic equation, and one of it is the extracting the square roots. So let me give you an overview. What are those ways to solve quadratic equation? Aside from extracting the square roots, you can also solve quadratic equation using factoring, of course, completing the square, and at the same time, you can also solve quadratic equation using quadratic formula. Okay, but of course, today, our focus is to use extracting the square roots. Okay, so now when we encounter a quadratic equation, what comes first in your mind is what is the best way to solve the quadratic equation? When are we going to use extracting the square roots? Well, we can use extracting the square roots if there is no b. I know, Mom, Jenny already related to you what are the real numbers a, b, c. And then at the same time, the quadratic term, the linear term, and then the constant term. So when we encounter a quadratic equation and there is no b or linear term, pag wala po iyon, then we can use extracting the square roots. Okay? So like for example, this equation. Try to see this equation. Is this equation has no b? Perfect. So there is no b or linear term. We can use extracting the square roots. But of course, we have to transform this equation first into this form. The x to the power of 2 equals c. Okay? So this is how to transform this equation. First is you have to transpose the constant term to the other side. And then now, since it is now in this form, then you can use now the radical sign to extract the square roots both sides to produce this one. So meaning, when you use the extracting the square roots, we have also to consider the square root property. If the value of c is greater than 0, of course, there are two solutions. And if after you solve the equation, then the value of c is equivalent to 0, then there is only one solution. If c is below 0, or then of course it has no solution. Okay, so let's go back with the example. Since the result is it's more than 0, then it has two solutions. It can be denoted by using the two signs, positive and negative. Okay, and then how about for if the answer is equivalent to 0? So try to look at this example. Okay, so since it is resulted to 0 and it is the c is equivalent to 0, then it has one solution. So another take a look with this example for no solution. Okay, since it resulted to a negative or it's below 0, so automatically it has no solution. Okay, so let's take a look at this final example for us to understand well when and how to use extracting the square roots. Okay, so let let's take a look at this example. 2 times x plus 4 to the power of 2 equals 18. So what can with this example or with this quadratic equation class, can you use the extracting the square roots? Very good, yes, because what? There is no b. You can only see the constant term, which is 18, and of course the 2 times x plus 4 to the power of 2, which is the quadratic term. Okay? So, let's solve this one. Of course, for you to solve this one, first is you have to eradicate 2. Okay? So, of course, when you eradicate 2, you have to divide both sides by 2. So, next is after you eradicate 2, then it resulted with this one. So the result is x plus 4 to the power of 2 equivalent or equals to 9. This form is already equivalent to x to the power of 2 equals c, and c is equivalent to 9, and 9 is more than 0. So we can now identify how many solutions, right? So how many solutions? Very good, there are 2 solutions. So we are not yet in the final answers, but we know already that there are 2 solutions. Okay? So now let's use the radical sign, both sides, to eradicate the power of 2. And then remember, when we use radical signs, then it can be denoted by positive and negative. So just like this one. Then the result is equivalent to x plus 4. Since we already eradicated the power of 2, equivalent to the square root of 9, because 9 is the perfect square of 3. Then, of course, remain the positive and negative. Then for us to get the value of x, we have to combine the same term. Of course, there are 2 constant terms there, 4 and 3. So since we have 2 solutions, and since positive negative, let's have a solution for the positive first. X plus 4 equals 3. Then transpose to the other side. X equals negative 4 plus 3. So since they have not the same sign, so that is equivalent to negative 1. So that is one of the solutions. The answer is negative 1 because 4 is greater than or is bigger than 3. And then let's solve the other solution. So x plus 4 equals negative 3. So next process is x transpose 4 to the other side, that is negative 4 minus 3. So since they have the same sign, so let's add both of 3 and 4. So if x is equivalent to negative 7. So meaning there are 2 solutions. X is equivalent to negative 1 and negative 7. So now, I know maraming mga nalilito dyan, maraming mga questions as you listen with my discussion. So, let's proceed to the question and answer portion. Okay, Ma'am Jenny and Sir Kenneth, proceed. Bye.